She's I'm drawing a dead bird, but
yeah.
know.
Oh, you can take the Post-it note off.
Oh, we started.
We have started. Yeah.
Oops. Oh yeah, I gotta get our cheesy music going on.
Oh yeah, Sean's gonna be our DJ for today. He's gonna be playing some love anthems of the past 3 decades.
Mostly
what that means, I don't know.
All Celine Dion.
Oh, thank you, Fem, for subscribing. That was really nice. Oh, thank you. That's really nice. If you could put at vonnart before your comment or question, me and Sean are gonna do our best to kind of moderate each other while drawing.
I can't really see the thing. I gotta like. Here,
let me put it over here.
In the way. Yeah, thank you.
So I think at some points I feel like Sean will kind of overtake the conversation, and other times I'll overtake it. We're gonna go back and forth. That's usually how our friendship works, anyways.
Yeah.
Let me get our notes up here. If there is something that you prefer to be called besides the username here on Twitch, just let us know. And we have a list over here that we will add you to.
Oh, it looks. It's weird. I'm like expecting to see my long hair in the.
I know, now it's all short.
It's gone. Yeah, it's all gone now. So.
Yeah, same. As I'm looking at, I used to be so ashamed of my curly hair, and I was gonna go and tighten it up and give it some straight locks, but I was like, you know what? I'm okay with my curly hair now. I don't mind it as much as I used to. Okay, I guess before we do the shouts, I only really have I have 3 announcements really quick. First is we're going to be at Anime Milwaukee this upcoming weekend. Both Sean and I will be sharing the same exhibitor booth. So if you are in the area and you want to come say hi, come say hi. And we also have pretty much all of the roommates here at Vonn House showing.
Is Celine too loud? Do you want me to turn her down? I don't know if you're talking over Celine.
No one can talk over Celine. She steals the show.
She steals the show.
Whenever she enters the room. But yeah, we have a bunch of our friends going, and we'd love to see you. That's how we met Miss Chibi. That's how we met Carrie, actually.
Yeah.
And I feel like we meet a lot of cool people at cons.
Oh
yeah, this won't turn into a karaoke, most likely, but you never know. Tim looks like Sean's pimp. The bottom B.
Yeah. There you go.
That was the first announce. The second one is I have a giveaway going on right now. So at the end of the stream, I'm going to give away this little carrot knight. This was the character that we started on last week's stream, and I finished him up. I kind of redid him.
That was last week?
Yeah, right? Doesn't that seem like a long time ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's only been a week. So that was my Instagram giveaway, and we'll do that at the end of the hour. And the last thing is, I have a Patreon coming out tomorrow. A few of you have already found it. There is a link below. I did a secret launch. I didn't really want people to subscribe to it yet, but people have been pouring in. I'll give you a sneak peek. I don't want to show the whole thing because I'm saving it for the Patreon people, but here's a little sneak peek at the entire page. Can I show it really far away? Yeah, you can kind of see it from way far away. But essentially, I'm going to be doing a page every month, and my Patreon people will be the first to be able to read it. Along with I'm going to do a tutorial a month, a lot of screenshots that I never share anywhere on social media. And yeah, that was the big thing. Oh, and then...
I have nothing to add. Typical. Very typical. I'll finish the joke. Yeah. What's this?
A little present for Sean.
I get a thing? I get a thing?
Happy Valentine's Day, Sean.
I get a Kermit the Frog?
Yeah, you get a little Pez dispenser.
I didn't get you anything.
You never do. That's how our friendship works. I give.
What do you mean? Oh, baby. It's all coming back to me.
Baby.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh. You're welcome, Sean.
Oh, that's good.
All right, so let's start doing the shout-outs.
Yeah, we gotta go. I think we gotta go up.
Oh, do we really?
Yeah, there might be...
oh, boy. Yeah, you're right. Is it...
all the way there? Or no, that's
here we
the
go.
start. Yeah.
All right, I'll kick us off.
All right.
The Max 1997 from Austria.
Okay. Where we got this? These are all just very...
Short hair. Yeah.
Short hair,
different.
Yeah, it's all gone, yeah.
Looks good, though, right, guys?
It's a little... you got to give it a few months, and then it will grow back into what it should be.
There we go.
There we go. Okay. John Stapler just says Sweden. Good.
Mighton from Columbus. Hey, how are you doing?
Phantom saying, in Finland it's called Friends Day, and it's more about celebrating friends and important relationships.
Oh, I like that.
That's a good one. This one's very commercialized in America.
Yeah. I guess that's what we're kind of celebrating, Friend Day. B. Kaufman Art from Michigan.
Awesome. Shadow W Game R. Hello from Germany.
That is Nico.
Oh,
Nico from Milwaukee.
Oh, Nico. Okay. Mighton, your outfit reminds me of the Strawberry Festival scene from the
Tu Wong Fu.
Tu Wong Fu.
It's a great Drake movie. Lights and Sea from... Oh, no, that's Jim. I got to remember that one.
Okay.
Jim from... The South? South.
South. Watson Art saying hello from St. Louis.
Leo
Hey,
from
St. Louis.
Germany.
What do we got here?
Maria.
Oh, hey, Maria says, hi from Michigan. Sean, your hair looks great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Uncanny Brand from Florida.
Okay. Frosty Monkey says, what's up, guys? My first time catching the live stream here in San Diego.
Well, welcome all the way
Welcome,
from San Diego.
Diego.
We're going to be there in a few weeks for WonderCon.
We are?
Well, close by.
That's
Anaheim.
Anaheim.
Yeah, Anaheim. Sorry.
Really? I thought San Diego's like further away.
Kind of, yeah. Same state. Same vicinity.
We'll be in California.
Jopo from the Netherlands. Happy Valentine's Day. You too, Jopo.
Hold up. I gotta find more.
I got it. Renato from Italy.
Yeah.
You find some good music. I got this.
Well, there was this one top 100 love songs. So I don't know which one to go to.
Number one.
Well, that was the... Keep going.
Adrian from Maryland. Guy Webb from Malta. Ibesa from Saudi Arabia.
Everything I do.
My pimp coat. This is my Goodwill coat I got for $4, and I couldn't
It
pass
belonged
up.
to a pimp.
It
Yeah.
it belonged to a pimp. It smells like one. Uncanny. Nice haircut, Sean.
Thank you.
Steve says hello. So happy to be here.
Yeah.
Sean, your haircut's BA. You actually look younger. How old are you actually?
It's funny when I got my haircut.
17.
Yeah, I am 17. No, I'm not. I'm 27.
Nico from... sorry, you're releasing your Patreon on my birthday. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, well,
Get this out.
we'll have a combined
I
celebration.
keep
then.
forgetting that I have my bow on. I got it.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, I got it. I got a Kermit the Frog.
Hey, Angela from Waukesha. Hey, how are you doing, Ange?
Don't know where that. Which one should I go?
If you want, you should come join us for Subway after this for a little celebration.
If you can make it.
Kai from New Jersey. Phantom September from Finland. Far Cry's from Ohio.
Hey.
Wait a minute. Oh, no. Okay. Grace from Texas, darlings. Hey, Grace. Yulia from Ukraine. Michelle from... I always want to say Michelle, but it's Michael from UK. Well, I think you... Ooh, Waxonellian and Jean Rosa missed it.
Thank you.
Thank you
also,
for following.
too, we got these little hearts coming down. This is pretty cute.
I did a really quick
Yeah,
exchange of
it's
the
real
bits.
cute.
We got some hearts for the
How do
follows.
you put these in the Pez? You just like put them in?
So you take Kermit's head, you decapitate them, you slide them in, and then you
Gotcha.
close them up.
Gotcha.
Let's see
I haven't
here.
used a Pez thing in such a long time.
IX Prox from Sweden, John Stapler.
Chat's weird. I did write hey before. Hey!
Well,
where they
hello
just wrote
again.
Sweden.
Emmy2 from France.
Hi.
Plein de moi pour vous.
Pour vous. Pour vous.
I think it means I love you. But what's plain? I don't know what that one means. Plein de moi pour vous. Smack City from St. Louis.
Yo, Smack
Waxonellian.
City. Get your phone out of here. We're
See
doing
this?
something.
This is a problem. This is why you turn off your phone before you do something like
We're
streaming.
actually doing something.
Guy Webb says Valentine's Day was somewhat religious here, but now has become more of a holiday. Same in America. I think we're done with the highs. Okay, so then we're going to kind of get going on the drawing so we can start answering questions. But essentially, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be working with traditional pencils. I'll probably work with the 2H.
You forgot somebody. I'm being real
I'm right here.
I'm being real selfish. Oop. Right.
Oh, Katie.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I'm here. I had to save a dog that escaped across the street. Happy Valentine's Day. I wish I could be there still. Aw, we wish you could still be here too, Katie. We were having a fun day. Well, we played a lot of video games yesterday, honestly, so you probably wouldn't have enjoyed it too much. But we did make some cool Valentine's Day stuff at night. Okay, it looks like there's a few more hellos, but let's just start. We're already
we'll
like
just keep
16
going.
minutes
Sorry,
into it.
yeah. Sorry, guys.
I'm at Fem.
Hello,
So
hello,
Fem, I did
hello.
not miss you. I
Hello.
have you highlighted right now.
Hello, hello, hello.
Okay. I'm going to be working with the 2H pencil, and I'm going to be building it up that way. And I'll probably end off with this 0.2 mechanical pencil. That's kind of how I get all of my finer detailing areas. And I'll be working the mono eraser and a kneaded for the erasing part. So Sean's going to be working on his little bird. He's working on Pez right now.
Matter.
But if you guys have any questions... Yeah, but I kind of want to do it when you...
Oh, you want the novelty of Pez.
Yeah. It's the whole point of Pez, you know?
How do you get it back down? Oh.
There you go.
Because everything I'll do it for you.
No, it's, you know, it's true. Okay.
Good.
So, we're going to get going. Sean, can you take like the first 10 minutes?
Absolutely.
So I can get the initial values going here.
Okay, so wait, did you already think the femme thing or no?
No, so
Okay.
I stopped at femme.
Alright, so femme says, are you still going to
Here's
post
the mouse.
swordplay stuff on your Instagram from time to time? After a while, so patrons, of course, have the privilege, because this broke student would love to get an update from time to time.
Yeah, my goal with my Patreon is to give people that are my Patreon followers like a timed exclusive look at swordplay. So they'll get it 3 months before anyone else. So then in May, it's February, March, April. May is when I would post it publicly. So yes, I still plan on posting it publicly on like Instagram and stuff.
Angela says, hey Tim, I work till 6. When are you guys going to Subway? We go to Subway directly after the stream, so it's like at 4.
But you and Zach should come over if you have nothing going on anyways, because we have Dissidia.
We do have Dissidia. Alright,
And
so
it's really good.
I'm gonna let you know something. This is the first time I played a Dissidia game. Holy crap.
It's awesome.
That game rules.
And Angela,
It's wonderful.
actually not just Angela, everyone, if you haven't played Dissidia, horribly terrible learning curve on a fighting game. But if you can get into it, it's really fun.
It's like the most like fan service
Oh, totally.
Final Fantasy game I've ever played. And I'm just like, yes. And they have the guy from Tactics, which is one of my favorite Final Fantasy. They have Ramza Bellevue or whatever.
Bellevue.
Bellevue. And he's awesome. He's basically me materialized.
So yeah, you should come check it out.
Alright, so anyway, Miguel saying, I love the jackets.
Goodwill.
This is actually Tim's jacket. But I feel like a game show host wearing it. Because it's got shoulder
I
pads.
do kind of feel like a pimp, but I kind of am getting warm in here.
I know, I actually just
The sun has been like blazing in this room all day.
But yeah, so I feel like a game show. Tim, come on down. Come on down, Betty. Anyway,
Shame when the zoom in on the face here.
Mighton asks, you only have 3 patrons, but your mentorship is sold out. You've mentioned someone you're mentoring before, so curious about what your threshold is in that area.
I'm going to be honest with you. So Patreon, I did a secret launch just so I could figure out some bugs that I couldn't figure out before the launch. And then after I launched it, people found my Patreon without me publicly announcing it. And the mentorship was meant to go to the person that I'm already mentoring. He wanted me to just put the tier on Patreon so it's easier for payment, blah, blah, blah. And someone took it before I could send him the link to my Patreon. So it wasn't meant to be a tier that was for like the public. It was meant to be just for one person until the guy that I'm mentoring now doesn't feel like he needs me anymore. He can move on with his life. So I may make it a bigger tier, but I don't plan on it. And I think the main thing is for people to hopefully choose the swordplay tier. That's what I'm hoping. It's kind of the goal for my Patreon, so that I stay motivated and keep pushing out new swordplay content.
I'm just hearing this. Yeah. If you guys got any good love songs, let me know.
Oh, that's a good idea. We should request it like a jukebox.
Yeah, let me know any. They gotta be love songs though, and they gotta be kind of it's safe for work.
Ooh, actually, then to start it off, can I request after this one?
Yeah.
Supremes.
Yeah.
I mean, almost literally anything.
Anything. Yeah.
I kind of want either Baby Love or. No, I kind of want Stop in the Name of Love.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. That's a long song. Anyway, so after that, Kai Illustrations.
Why is
Ask.
it blurry?
Do you think you'll do any classes again, like your I Can Draw Anything class you did a while ago?
Oh no, my focus isn't working.
Uh-oh. Do you still have it locked? Oh, you sure? Does it? Oh wait, it kind of focused, right?
No, because it
Was that
should
the
do
illusion
like
of
the,
focusing?
you know where it like zooms in and
Yeah.
out. Oh great.
Oh, cannoli.
Well, okay,
Yeah,
if I keep it
that's
there, it's
about right
focused.
there. Yeah, it's good.
Alright.
Someone
went
said,
for as long
yeah,
as I
someone said
could.
careless whisper. That's always a good one. All right, so anyway, the whole thing with Kai. Do you want me to reread the question?
Yeah, sorry.
Do you think you'll do any classes again, like I Can Draw Anything class you did a while ago?
Yeah, I'm actually planning to collaborate with CG Cookie again in the summer for an in-person workshop. It'll probably be a week long sometime in the summer. And I probably shouldn't even say it right now because it's so early, but there'll probably only be 10 seats. I don't know if I'll do another online one anytime soon. I'm sure eventually I will. But as of right now, I don't have any plans, no.
I'm getting sucked into these love songs. I mean, I'm super cheesy. I'm a cheesy guy, so I love this stuff. All right. Anyway, Maria asked, how have you guys been?
I've been great. I was telling Sean, I don't know if it's just been since December. I just feel lighter. I feel like I'm really trying to make a wave on my career and trying to push my stuff further in the industry and what I'm capable of. I feel like I'm really looking at my stuff objectively. I don't know. It's been really good. I just feel like I'm butter right now. I'm on a roll.
I'm glad. I like that. I've been pretty good, actually. I mean, I've had like funny like ups and downs and everything like that. With just my own brain, basically just making up my own problems. But other than that, I've been actually really, really awesome. Like if I actually think about it, nothing actually is bad. But it's been good. It's been really good. So thanks for asking. I appreciate it. All right, so wax online. I'm assuming this is wax online, but they just said, "What's your name?"
My real name's Tim, but my last name is Vonn Reedon, so everyone called me Vonn in high school. And this is Sean.
My real name's Sean, but everybody called me Love Machine in high school.
Yeah, I still call him that to this day.
Who is Dave? Anyway, Uncanny Brand said, "The city is so awesome. I love it."
Hey, someone actually plays it. I thought I was the only person in the world that played that game, besides like 3 of my roommates back in the day.
I'll do Uncanny said, "I found your Patreon early, and I got this spot. Could you still mentor me?"
Oh, that's you! Uncanny Brand, are you the one
okay.
that got the spot? It's funny, because I've been almost waiting till tomorrow to interact with people, because I got like a bunch of messages already on Patreon. I'm like, you know what, I'm going to wait till the launch. But yes, I still plan on mentoring you because you got the spot, and that was my own fault for not making it a thing about how it's meant for this person I'm mentoring. And you know what, the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what, I think I'm ready to take on another person, because I've been mentoring this guy for like 6 months, and I've seen so much improvement.
Someone said Careless Whispers, so
Great suggestion.
I don't know if Careless Whispers
yes,
is actually a love song.
I do plan on still being a mentor for you if you would allow me to be.
Yeah, I don't know if Careless Whispers is actually a love song.
That's okay. We just need the sax.
It's the saxophone.
You know what's funny?
Yeah. Worlds Collide, though, is a love song. You ever hear that one? In Excess, Worlds Collide.
Maybe. But do you know what I think of when I think of this song?
Me dancing.
Kind of. You know that seal with the sax in
Yeah!
the water?
It's just spinning.
Yeah.
We have that. Oh, yeah. So someone said Careless Whisper. Katie said, "Say anything, alive with glory of love. Alive with the glory of love." I don't
Wait,
know
what?
if I could play that song.
What's that?
That's a very angsty love song. And,
Katie, come on now.
and we have such an affinity for Say Anything. It's a very angsty emo band.
No.
It's the best. It's the best.
I know
Alright.
you have good taste. Give me some love in music. Give me like Barry Manilow.
Ooh. Hey,
What's
Barry.
another good one?
Anything Barry Manilow. Hey, Barry. The Walrus of Love. He's great. Hey, Barry. I know you. But I might play that after this. Anyway. All right. Steve saying my favorite love song.
Oh, wait. Thank you, June Project, for following.
Thank you, June. Steve.
And Alania?
Oh. Eliana.
It's like watching the heart's bones.
Eliana. Steve saying my favorite love song is Hosier Work Song. It's super sweet.
I like that song.
I don't know what that song is.
Oh, it's a cute one. Hosier's cute.
Tom Jones, What's New, Pussycat?
Hey, Tom Jones.
Hey. We could play that one over and over. Bah, bah. What's new, Pussycat? Yeah. All right. So, Lights and Sea says, so that artist meetup group I mentioned a while ago. Do you remember that when they said that?
That's Jim.
Jim, sorry.
I know. I feel like I know your username so well. I'm so used to saying Lights
We
and
see
Sea.
it all the time. Yeah.
Jim. And that should be easy to remember. My name's Tim. I got you.
Jim and Tim.
Tim.
Do you remember when they mentioned the group?
For what?
They mentioned their artist group, and they said that they were having
Yes.
trouble connecting with people. Yeah.
Yeah.
They said they mentioned it is really taken off. I made some really nice new friends in it, and we might be part of an art display in a local coffee shop. But
Oh.
I've never been in an art show before. I'm not too sure what the theme will be yet. But have either of you had your work up in a gallery before? Any tips?
All right. So the theme, and it kind of goes for like when I do portfolio reviews too, the theme should be quality. So as long as it's consistent, and like even though you're a bunch of different artists, if you can create a way to make it feel consistent, it doesn't mean like you all need to have like red frames that are 2 inches, but if they each are consistent in their own right, and then they work well as a whole, I think that's what you should be looking at. Look at the bigger picture rather than like individual framing of like one piece. And then if you do have a lot of quantity of pieces and you get to kind of hand pick the selection, maybe you should have a theme. Maybe it should be like animals, let's say a really broad one. And if it is something like animals, then every artist within your collective should choose the pieces that obviously have animals in them. So you could have a theme. I don't think it's necessary by any means. So yeah, that'd be my advice. And Sean was actually in the Art Gray. Why is it called Art Gray?
Light Gray Art Lab.
Light Gray
yeah,
Art
Light
Lab.
Gray
I
Art
was like,
Lab.
that's
Yeah,
not
I was
right.
part of
Yeah.
a show of Light Gray Art Lab. They're really awesome. I shout out to them. They're a great gallery. So I guess when I was part of it, they did have a theme. The theme was camouflage, and you kind of had to follow just the guidelines of whatever kind of just way you can depict camouflage through artwork. And honestly, I will say, if you are going like imagine how would you want your art being displayed? Because I think that was my fault during the whole gallery show, is that I put it in like this really crappy frame and I mailed it to them, and then getting there and actually seeing it in the show, like it was so overshadowed by like all the other ways that you could display artwork. So think of your presentation as also a piece of art as well, rather than just like what you're going to give them. So that could be another way of just like matting it very nicely, or like, you know, putting it into a frame and matting it and everything like that. Because I also think that presentation when it comes to artwork, you know, if the person's not an artist and they're looking at it, I think presentation is going to strike them a little bit more, maybe in a way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, so definitely kind of think of that, of how you would want your work being presented is the best way. That's my advice. All right, so we have another one. It's called Exodus by Hakira Utada. We'll give it a go.
Oh, come on. You know Utada.
I do?
Simple and clear.
Is that what it is? Is that
She's
who
done
it
all
is?
the songs for Kingdom Hearts, the main songs.
Okay.
Wait, really quick. I just want to mention something on a technical level. So what I'm doing here, it's called... I mean, this is kind of a James Gurney way of looking at shading, but essentially the terminator is the darkest line on shading an object. And that's essentially where the light falls off, and it'll be the darkest part until the bounce light will be on the other side. So the arm is a good example where this middle section here, let me make sure I'm doing this right. Oops. This middle part of his chubby little arm here, that's gonna be the darkest part. That's the terminator. And I didn't believe it when I first heard about this. I even did tests in my basement with like a lamp, and this is essentially with a single light source. But the reason that this works is because the light falls upon this object, creates the lightest area, and then where it can't reach anymore, it's the darkest because the area under it, it's receiving bounce light. And that terminator will not be receiving the bounce light the same way that the angle under the arm will be. So the area under the arm will actually be a little lighter than the area on the side. Now, when you have multiple light sources, that's where things get a little more interesting. But I like showing this. I think it creates a really cool, consistent shadow. And if you're ever worried about where that should go or how dark you should make your shadows, try this technique. Try outlining the shadow itself and then filling in the shadow with just a consistent value. And you might see how well it works for your own work. So something really technical I wanted to slip in there before we keep going.
Beautiful. Beautiful. You know what's funny is that, so there's sometimes, and I wonder if you guys know it, like notice it too on the stream, is that there's sometimes where Tim will be talking and then I'll be reading the comments and then you'll finish talking and I'll just be like, yes, because I'll be too busy reading the comments.
Oh no, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I don't need to be teaching you this stuff. Like, you know a lot of what I'm saying. Well, I would hope you do.
It's just like this, just like quick agreeance of just like I was totally
Like,
listening.
oh,
I was absolutely listening.
It's like when a teacher calls you.
Yeah.
Sean.
Yes. Yeah. Like yeah. Anyway, so we got that. Christy saying, Christy McAfee, hi, how's it going?
Hey, Christy.
Saying hello. Hope your Valentine's Day is doing well. I have a
great, actually.
I have a question about characters. So I have a side profile of a character, but I'm almost scared of doing the frontal view because I want the side profile and the front profile to make sense. I'm assuming they're asking
challenge.
for help with that.
If you really need to, you could box it out. You could literally have the lines, like draw the heads on the same plane, and then have a ruler and literally draw lines going from a front to a side. This is honestly one of the hardest things, is drawing the same character over and over and making it consistently look like the same character. So no, that this isn't an easy task, and I think it's something that you're going to have to practice a lot, but giving yourself these little technical tricks will help in the long run. I would recommend doing some of that.
This music video, I kind of got sucked into it. This music video kind of reminds me of like a PlayStation 2 game. Yeah. It's like there were times where she was like going through. Look at it. She's like going through like the city and like.
Oh, that's totally like early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently it was 04. So, all right. So anyway, we got all that. Maria said, "Sean, you little cheesy dude. I am very cheesy. Just letting you know." And who is this? This is Tim. Did we write that down? Oh,
Where are we looking at?
All right, never mind. Oh, it's Nico. Sorry.
That's Nico.
Nico, did you guys watch the D23 Kingdom Hearts trailers?
I did.
I did not. I don't like Kingdom Hearts. I'm sorry. Shame. Shame.
I know. The difference between me and Sean, I think it's something that we had just agreed on early in our friendship, is that I have taste. And some don't. And when it comes to video games specifically, I like quality games, like Kingdom Hearts, where Sean likes...
Pong.
Kingdom Hearts is one of those games where I think it's... If you didn't play it when you were younger, you're not going to like it as an adult. It's very silly. You would think Sean would like it because he likes cheese, but apparently even that's too cheesy for Sean.
That's not even cheesy. It's just
so
silly.
cheesy. I love it. The new trailer was interesting. I find myself worried with the decisions Square Enix makes as a company. So I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna buy it, obviously. But do I have the highest expectation for it? Not exactly. But I love Kingdom Hearts. The original to this day stands as like one of the biggest testaments to inspiration in my own life. So I'll play it, and I love the whole idea of continuing the series. Oh gosh, was this requested?
This was requested. We might have to skip this one, maybe.
I never got my Supremes.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Never mind. Supremes.
It's okay. I'm used to Sean forgetting about me.
Supremes. What do you want?
I want.
Where did I look?
No.
You want to stop in the name of
Yeah.
Stop. In the name of love.
Before you pray.
All right. So we got this. Did you see the Kingdom Hearts trailer? I did not. Tim did. Uncanny Brand said, yeah, so, yeah, I'm so excited. I love your work. I can't wait to work with you, and I can't wait to meet you at
Aw.
SuperCon in July.
Yes,
Also,
I
their
will
name,
be
yeah,
there.
also their name is Brandon, but I go by Brand.
Go by Brand, like the League of Legends character? Yeah, I like that. Brand.
Brand.
Uncanny Brand.
Uncanny Brand. You want me to write them in?
Yes.
Well, you got the keyboard over there, so.
All right, tell me when.
Do a, wait, up, bat. I screwed up. Backspace. All right, space. No, like, there you go. You know how to work it.
I got you. Oops.
All right, cool. We got that. Chrissy also saying, Sean, your hair, I love it so much. Thank you. I get all kind of silly when my hair gets short. I always feel like my hair is like my security blanket. So when I cut it short, I'm kind of like, oh, I'm exposed to the world. Here I am. Leo saying, play How to Write a Love Song by the Axis of Awesome. This basically sums up all love songs. I just did. We'll probably go back to it after this. Guy Webb says, Can You Feel the Love Tonight by Elton John.
Ah, there we go.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Steve asking, oh, there's another, oh, there's Let Me Be Your Wings, Barry Manilow. That's a good one. Steve saying, I have a slightly more personal question for Sean and Tim. It's Valentine's Day. Tell me one person you love and why. Also, another personal question. What is the bulk of your income based on your art? The juxtaposition. It's like the buffer. It's like the buffer of just like, I have a personal question. I really want to ask you about how much money you make, but like, how's this? No, I'm just kidding. Oh my lord. One person that I love. Well, Tim already knows that I love him. You guys already know that I love Tim. I guess the one person that I could say, one person who's actually got me through a lot of stuff is I love my sister very much. Yeah, I love my sister very much. She's absolutely like incredible, and she's taught me so many lessons through my whole life. She's a very strong personality, and people like that I tend to kind of like gravitate towards because I admire them, and I think they're very wonderful.
Go figure.
And yeah, and so she's definitely one person who I definitely look up to, and I would hope to aspire to be one day. She's also a wonderful mother. She's like the best mother that I know, but that's about it. I love her. I love my sister.
And where do you make the bulk of your income?
Where do I make the bulk of my income? I make the bulk of my income probably at conventions. I think mostly all of us do, I think. The conventions, yeah, that we do, it's just, selling prints and talking to people and just enjoying being there and enjoying being in the company of other people who like your work. So, yeah, that's mostly where it comes from. Other than that, I sell originals as well. I think I feel like mostly out of everyone in the house, I feel like I've sold them the most. I feel like I do more, like sell more originals than
Well, yeah, since Ashley
most
engaged
people. Yeah,
with yeah.
yeah.
Because they definitely sold a lot. I mean, she technically does
Oh
commissions.
yeah, I mean that's what it is. So Ashley would definitely like blow me out of the water with that one,
Yeah, but I would say otherwise though. You make a lot of money on each original too. I think that's something that maybe people should know. Like Sean makes a good chunk of penny on each piece, and I think there's something that could be said about people that just do originals and sell that for their living. So
it's definitely not. It's definitely not. It's
think it should be the
encouraged.
only-
Yeah, it's
yeah.
encouraged. It
One of
shouldn't
the
be your
pillars.
only thing. Yeah, it should be a pillar thing, which is a good thing. I think that you should talk about because you were in the car when that happened.
For someone that I love, I was trying to think if I wanted to say like my parents. They definitely had a really good influence on me growing up. And I think they did a great job raising me and my siblings.
Oh, dude, this is a good song. You ever listen to the Commodores? Later.
No.
All right, get ready.
But I'm actually going to say my other friend, Kat, who doesn't live with us, she's been my friend since we were in like K5. And she's one of those people that I can always go to. And I know that we don't talk on a daily basis, but we don't need to. It's like I find such a strength in her and our friendship because of that reason. So I'm going to give a shout out to Kat. And how do I make the bulk of my money? It used to be on a full-time job. And when I left CG Cookie, they were wonderful. It wasn't like I had bad blood or anything. But I was fighting for my time, and I feel like I'm getting that now. And I'm finding that most of my money is coming through conventions, but I'm hoping to have Etsy. I mean, Etsy really pulled its weight last year. I don't want to share too many numbers, I guess. I don't know how inappropriate that would be, but I always feel like I like being transparent. So I made a little over 10K on Etsy last year, and then Kickstarter was obviously a big income generator too. But what people don't realize is, yeah, you might make 11K on a Kickstarter. The books, the shipping, the packaging,
Yeah.
the everything that went into the books, it cost about 10
So that's,
and a half.
yeah, I mean, that's basically gross profit of what you do.
Yes.
Your net profit is kind of what you take away. And, yeah,
It was like $500. The difference was, though, I had about 800 books left over from my Kickstarter because I ordered 1,000. So now I'm able to sell those at cons, and now I'm able to make more of a profit from it.
Oh, hey.
What? Hey, thank you.
Thank you for the subscription.
That's Solomon.
Solomon.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, I got to see the hearts bounce. Thank you so much. I don't really see Twitch as being one of my big income generators, and I think you kind of have to decide what type of focus you want to be as an artist. I feel like for me, it's going to be conventions, Patreon, and then probably Twitch, then YouTube, Etsy, and then maybe freelance work. I'm doing some freelance work right now. I would rather not, but I really like the clients, so I'm gonna finish those out.
Holy cannoli. This is also a question they didn't tag. Also, if you guys want to ask a question or just say anything for us to say, honestly, not anything bad, tag at vonnart, and then we'll get to it right away, and we'll try and we'll say it to our best abilities. But this one doesn't have one, but it just says Thief Magpie says, how do you come up with designs? Also, too, magpies are really funny birds, by the way.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
They were all over Australia.
Mm-hmm.
How about this? We'll always have you answer it first. That way we don't get that awkward, like, do you want to go? Do you want to go? Do you want to go?
How do I come up with designs?
Yeah.
I mostly focus on, when I do a thumbnail, I focus on shapes. I focus on how things will look in the long run, overall shapes of things. So like with this piece that I'm doing, right, well, I'm not really drawing at all. It's just there. But this piece is basically a double diamond. To where, imagine it like a diamond. So you have kind of like one that goes right here and then another one. So you're basically making an 8 with a diamond. Most of the pieces that I do, like all my thumbnails always come down to the original shapes and kind of like how bold and like striking those shapes can be. It's kind of like, and then when it comes to like all the little stuff in between, on how things are rendered and stuff like that, it's just a mixture of real reference, like real life reference, and also artistic reference, and kind of mixing those two. This is a good song, right? You bring me up when I'm down.
Makes me want to dance.
Yeah, it's the Commodores. Lionel Richie, before he was Lionel Richie. So that's my thing.
And how to just make compositions in general?
Well, just like how do you come up with designs?
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. And I feel like with my designs, I focus mostly just on shapes, and just how shapes can affect the overall piece and how they can work together. That's kind of what I think about.
So
What do you got?
I try to think of like the impact that the actual drawing will have. I try to keep it in the same realm of consistency in the look and style I think I have going for myself. And pretty early on, I'll try to decide, do I want it to be more of a serious drawing or more of a silly one? And it'll probably still be rendered the same. I think the toughest part for me is like where to add contrast. So even like on this baby child, I have the wing here in front, and I'm going to make this wing darker and then the wing in the back lighter so that the hair here, there's a contrast between the three. If I shaded the back wing just as realistic, I mean, yeah, it would have more of a realistic rendering quality to it, but I don't like to fully play in the realism playground. I like to dabble in it, but I like having there be contrast, and I want that to be seen throughout. So for me, building my compositions really rely on where I'm going to be adding my contrast and where that boldness is going to be. I think for this piece, obviously, I want a lot of the attraction to go to the face. So I'm going to really build that up.
Someone requested it.
To the rush of day. Oh yeah, this is good.
It's a good one. The Fire Cries say, digging the new hair, Sean. Thank you very much. Hopefully I will too. Brand saying they made a new theme on Kingdom Hearts 3. What do you think of that?
Honest opinion, I'm not a fan.
What's the theme? What is it?
You want to do a quick
Animal
snippet?
masks?
No. Utada did a new song.
Oh.
The one that did Simple.
Simple and clean.
Alright, pause. Pause Sir Elton for a second.
Oh, that's loud.
I'm not a fan of like...
Yeah. Alright, what do we got here?
It kind of carries that same piano... I will say, it may grow on me. I wasn't crazy about Passion when I first heard it, the Kingdom Hearts 2 song, but it grew on me over time. So maybe it'll grow on me, but as of right now, I'm like, take it or leave it.
This song, though, is timeless.
It is.
Absolutely timeless. All right, so other than that, we got a little stream drop type of thing, but we're okay. Yeah.
I'll make this smaller. Oh, thank you, Magpie, for following.
Queen saying, when you said Terminator, I instantly thought of the movie, so we can call this cherub Arnold.
Oh, I like that.
Can do that. Fem saying, go. What were you gonna say?
He's supposed to represent my interpretation of Cupid. In my mind, he is a vile, wicked creature that makes people lose all sense of personal inhibitions and only think of love for another person. But my little twist on it is I kind of want an arrow to be stuck in his own back. And maybe he's just searching for love and he's just bitter because he couldn't find it himself. Cupid, everyone.
Fem says, so cheesy love songs. I guess Adele, Make You Feel My Love is in that category. But my favorites are these. They link them. We should probably click on it real quick. We'll see what we got here.
Well, you don't want to play two at the same time.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm just looking at stuff. We'll give them a look. We'll keep them over here. It's always we got the two over here. Can you feel? Oh my lord! All right. Anyway,
why would you not open them on your computer?
Because I don't have the thing up.
Oh, get the thing up. What are you doing?
Oh, well, it's right here. Anyway, Steve saying, thanks, man. Little tutorial bits are amazing. I'm assuming maybe with you or just like.
Oh yeah.
Anything? Yeah.
It's hard. I can't zoom in right now. My camera has the focus set before I started the stream, so I'd have to configure it. And to be honest, we've had a lot of problems with trying to configure this camera live. So instead, I'll try to give my best little tips. So like right now, I switched to the 0.2 mechanical pencil, and you can see as I'm adding it, it's really adding a thicker, darker line. I'm adding some line weight to it. And I'm being very specific on where I'm adding it, and I'm trying not to overuse it. So when you're doing this on your own pieces, be confident when laying down these harsher, kind of darker outlines, because when you do that, it's hard to pick it up with an eraser. So I want to make sure, well, you don't have to, but I try to give myself a foundation first to work up, and then I can feel like, yeah, this is a good area for this line, and I can just attack it.
Question. At 3 o'clock, do you want to switch so I can start doodling?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Well, here, why don't you start now?
Well, no, I'm still going. It's okay. I'm just 3 o'clock.
All right.
We'll be good. All right. Adrian says, "Still Into You" by Paramore. Yeah. We're gonna do that one. I love Paramore.
I feel like I'm confident that we can both be drawing and moderating.
I know confident that I'm still into you by Paramore. Do you know this song?
Yeah.
I had such a big. I met Haley Williams. She's like 4 feet tall. Yeah, she's a sweetheart. Anyway, Faith saying, "Oh hey, Faith, how's it going?" She says, "Hi guys, how are you?"
Doing well today.
Yeah, doing really well. It's good. Oh man, my inner scene kid is just boiling right now.
I wish your song
Right.
still spoke to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Faith also says, you guys look so cute in your red today.
Aw.
Thanks, we appreciate it. Thanks. I'm just a bunch of cutie soft boys. Gray saying Sinatra, come fly with me. Or fly me to the
Yes.
moon, that's always a good one. Jim saying, thanks for the advice. Also, Lights and Sea is kind of catchy in itself. I don't mind if you continue to call me that.
Ooh, I'm getting too bold.
I'm assuming this is wax one lion or waxian lion or something. What?
Thank you, Fat Pizza Roll, for following.
Hey, fat pizza roll. I'm just gonna say wax. Great tutorial. You guys are awesome artists. Love your work.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much. Faith saying, I adore Kingdom Hearts.
Love Kingdom Hearts.
Ashley saying, or not Ashley, sorry, Angela. This is a song. We've got to open this in a link. See what it is real quick.
Yes!
What is this?
You pendy? Yeah, what up?
Wait, is that the one where it's like, you pen?
Yeah, the hippos.
Right. Yeah, okay.
Angela, good call.
That's a good one, yeah. Christy saying, song request, let's get it on Marvin Gaye. Not sure if that was that. Mighton saying, elephant love medley.
Yay! Well,
It's funny we listened to both of those before this. Hey.
Hello?
It's just Steve saying again, how much money do you make and who do you love? Just again, just flipping the questions. Oh man, that's good. Jay saying hello everyone, how are you doing? Hope you're all having a good day.
Absolutely.
Solomon saying, how do you two? Hope all is well. I'm actually interviewing for a job in Wisconsin next week.
Best of luck.
Awesome, yeah, best of luck to that. Cactus saying, hey, nice haircut, Sean, thank you. Which one's this one? Rodrigo, there it is, okay. Rodrigo saying, finally able to catch a stream again. Sean, what happened to your hair? It looks nice. It's gone. It's just completely gone. I burned it. I'm assuming this is Etchin, I think it is. Etchin?
Yeah?
Yeah? Alright, we're gonna go with that, sorry. If you have anything you'd like to be called, just let us know. Do you have any advice for getting comfortable with drawing in front of others? I'm most comfortable drawing by myself in my room, but it's definitely problematic in art class.
To be honest, I had the same fear when I first started CG Cookie. I had to do these live streams every week, and I wasn't sure how to do it because I didn't like people watching me draw when I was at art school either. So how did I get over that? I don't want to say you just get over it. Essentially, do a drawing where you don't really care about the outcome, and do that one while you're in front of other people, and I think it'll be a lot easier to understand that fear kind of melts away because then there's no preconceived idea of like the greater drawing that you have to complete.
Oh, I got a request.
Oh, you got a request. So yeah, just know it's not the easiest task, and it's something that you do have to kind of just push through. But it's something that you might always be a little uncomfortable with. But once you start getting going and you're into the actual drawing, I feel like you lose all of that.
That's good. If any Van Morrison fans out there, let me know. All right. I guess also too, advice with that is kind of just throw yourself in those situations.
Yep.
You know, go to a coffee shop and just kind of just work there for a little bit if you can.
If someone has to see your drawing, let them see it.
Yeah, just let it see it, and then don't kind of have that weird, you know, what's the word I'm looking for?
Nerves.
Yeah, nerves. And so just kind of just do it. Just go ahead and just do it and just show them. And then also too, like, don't feel bad for like drawing in front of people or anything like that. You know, it's still like such an intimate thing of you drawing. You know, just it shouldn't matter where you are.
Feel confident in knowing that it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. B. Kaufman says, How much time do you spend on your art every day? Tim, enough? Me, not enough.
Next.
Next question. Believe me, we have days to where we definitely don't work on artwork, but but I will say, like, it's always it's a balance. You create a routine, you create a schedule, and it's just how sticking to that schedule, I think, is the hard part for me.
I think, especially as an independent, you kind of have to figure out. I mean, I don't know. I work better with schedules. So for me, I know every Monday and Thursday is like a shipping day. So I'm not going to even look at Etsy orders Tuesday and Wednesday and then Friday through Sunday. Not even going to look at them. And to be honest, I kind of do the same thing with emails. I'm not the biggest email fan.
Emails are great.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But I think having a schedule and then just really sticking to it. And if it's Monday and you're like, I don't really feel like doing it today, you got to remind yourself, well, you're not going to feel like doing it tomorrow, most likely. Just go ahead and do it, get it out of the way, and try to follow that. But in terms of doing art, it's funny because I genuinely enjoy doing art. So for me, it's like a treat to be able to draw. And now that I don't have a full-time job that I need to rely on a financial income, it's like I get to have fun. Kind of like how people want to play. I mean, not using Sean as an example.
Use me as an example. Okay.
Some people really like video games. And imagine if you got paid to do that. I mean, I guess people do with Twitch and everything.
Yeah, that's what they do.
But that becomes their job. So for me, yeah, there's still times where you do have to push through because you have to finish something or there's a deadline if you're doing freelance work. So yeah, there's still some pressure and it becomes less of a fun, exciting hobby and more of like a chore at times. But as long as you can find why you love drawing in the first place, I think it becomes less of a, I need to find time to do art, and it's like, I'm going to make time to do art.
Yeah. Yeah. You create a habit.
Yep.
That's honestly, I feel like that's what we do, is we've created a habit of making artwork. And once you start making that habit, things start to flow a little easier.
Yeah.
But it's the getting into it. It's the actual, like, okay, like, I'm going to do this now. Faith says, when you plug the camera in, does it just work, or do you have to plug it in again or add the camera in again into OBS? It's so mean to me.
Yeah, it's mean to me too. I had to restart my computer this morning.
I think that's just a technology question.
I'm the worst person to be answering that.
And I don't deal with the OBS on Tim's OBS, so I'm sorry.
Just know that you have to play with it.
My webcam is built in. I'm so sorry, Faith. I wish I could help you. Guy Webb saying, do you have any tips for using watercolors?
Experiment. Don't be afraid with it. Watercolor is a finicky material and tool to work with, so the best advice that I've gotten from people that actually do watercolor, because I personally don't do a lot of it, is you can't be afraid. Like, be confident with the way you lay it out. Work quickly. Don't get sloppy. Don't use too much water. That was another thing that I usually hear beginners do. Sometimes less is more. Too much water, yeah. In this scenario. Yeah, I would say those were the best advice I know from watercolor artists.
I've always tried doing watercolor, and I kind of, I want to say I lose patience with it a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like watercolor is a very patient medium. And it's funny, me using colored pencils, like, that's also a very patient one. But
watercolor is lack of control, though.
Yeah.
I think you and I both like having control. That's why we work.
In pencil, yeah. You get an instant result.
Instant.
In a way, yeah. It kind of. I mean, you lay down a thing and you kind of just know like what's gonna happen, I guess. But so watercolor.
Right, where were you at? Finicky. I think I can.
I'm right, dude. We're all caught up, kind of. Ooh, we're all caught up. Can you actually go back to the thing?
We're right here. We have 4 questions you missed.
Right there, but well, we made it to the bottom. You don't gotta scroll anymore. There you go. All right, I might have to take off this blazer.
You getting hot?
Yeah.
Agria says, Tim, have you seen Zabu art? She does some amazing singing. Let me Google her really quick. Or them. Ooh. I shouldn't assume gender. Ooh.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I like this.
Go to this one with the feathers. Oh.
Those are very tight feathers for
Yeah,
that
yeah.
size. Look how small that is.
Yeah.
That's some very tight
Oh,
shading.
I like this person.
That's good. Steve says, in all seriousness, well done, guys. I think you're killing it. Thanks for answering my questions. I'm excited to be part of your Patreon, Tim. You've helped me improve my art more than you probably think, and I'm so proud to support you. And Sean, I legit don't know how you do it. Your illustration is so gorgeous, and I'm looking forward to getting a few prints. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're so complimentary. Fat Pizza Roll says, been following both your work since around October. In love with both of your drawing styles and techniques. I've been super inspired and now draw daily and hope to be able to sell my artwork. So thank you both for the inspiration. Aw, that's nice. Thank you, Fat Pizza Roll. We're glad we could help you out.
Yeah, I'm glad that we could do. Wait, do you have a request? What was one thing? Do you have a request?
For a love
For
song?
a song, yeah, for a love song. What is
Yeah.
it we have? Yeah.
My. No, that's more of a... No, actually, yeah, I want my.
Is that a love song?
Sure. Guy Webb says, I wasn't very social in secondary school, so I used to be in free lessons to start drawing something, so people would talk to me and I'd be able to make friends.
Is this it?
First one.
First one.
Yeah, I mean, I talk a lot about on these streams about how I think I started drawing when I was a kid because I needed... That was my way of communicating with the outside world because I was a very shy child. My older sibling, my sister, was very vocal and very much like the chatterbox. And I think me and my brother kind of sat on the sideline and we got into hobbies and interests that really, I guess, kind of replaced the talking hobby for us, which my sister is really good at talking. And I think I've developed a better sense of talking over the years because of the confidence that I've gotten from my art. So if you're someone that's also very shy, art has really opened a lot of doors for me, not just in the art world, but in my personal life and how I communicate on a day-to-day basis and with other people. So you might surprise yourself with, maybe you're shy now, but that doesn't mean you have to be shy forever. Oh, thank you, Aiden Joar, for subscribing. That was really awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Thank you for the subscription.
So yeah, and I think that's something for a lot of you guys to know. If you are shy and introverted, I'm right there with you. I was pretty much my whole life. And then it was in college that I feel like I really blossomed in a way. And I feel very confident and comfortable talking with strangers, especially at cons. I feel like that's another thing that you have to get comfortable talking with people. So don't feel like just because you're shy and introverted that you're going to be that way forever.
I'm like trying to get to like an angle where I can pull this line. I'm having trouble.
All right.
It's alright though.
Drawing live.
Drawing line.
The struggles.
The struggles.
Let's see here. Leo says, you guys have any sports you enjoy doing? I guess we'll have whoever's asking the questions do it first.
Yeah, go.
So, I don't really tell people this, but I was actually really big into sports when I was younger. I think because my family was, and just it was passed down to me. But it led me to being very competitive. And I think that's something that I would never give up because I think that's allowed me to get where I am in the art world. And I've learned it's not so much a competition against other people. It has evolved into competing with yourself and trying to better yourself with each piece and to push yourself. And I think that competitive drive, that passion has carried through, and it started in sports, if I was honest. So I was the libero in my high school volleyball team. I made...
Wait, what? What is that?
Libero's the back row specialist, essentially.
Okay.
So they get all the digs from the other team that spikes it.
Yeah.
So I was like the defensive player.
Okay.
And the libero specifically gets rotated just in the back row.
Okay.
So I would never be in the front row.
Yeah.
And they only wanted me in the back to help out the team. Oh, thank you, Aiden. And I made varsity my freshman year. And yeah, right, humble brag. And then in the other sport,
freshman year you made varsity?
I did. I got pulled up.
Varsity, junior varsity?
No, I got pulled up in varsity at the very end because varsity goes longer than the freshman.
Cheeky minx.
Yeah, so I got pulled up into the varsity team, and it was pretty awesome. We went to state, and I don't know, it was a cool experience. Anyways, the other sport that I was really into was tennis. I think that was more of an individual thing, and I love it. I love tennis so much. It's part of the reason I hate wind though, and I feel like it's my natural enemy today because wind would always throw off my game. The thing that I would always do with tennis that would frustrate the hell out of the people I was versing is I would never play an aggressive game. I'd play a very tactical game where I would try to get them to run around on their side as much as possible. So it would be like short ball, left ball, right ball, back ball, short ball again. I would make them move, get them tired, get them kind of angry to the point where they would be making mistakes that normally they wouldn't be. And I kind of thrived on trolling, essentially. I felt pretty confident in my own ability, but I knew that I wasn't the best tennis player out there, but I knew that I had a level head. And if I could just get the other person to get frustrated enough, especially if they were better than me and I could tell that they were a better tennis player than me, if I could get them just frustrated enough, I could win. And, oh, this is the Hosier song.
Yeah.
This is good.
Steve, I saw the comment before I looked down.
So the thing with tennis is then my senior year, I actually got promoted to captain, and I was the captain of the year for kind of...
I didn't know. Well, I kind of knew this, but I didn't know it.
Yeah, so I was the one that took in the freshmen and tried to essentially...
Break them.
No, I wasn't like the way I am now. Back in the day, I was very gentle and I tried to help them the best I could. But more than anything, I tried to have fun with it. I mean, it was my senior year, so I was just trying to have a good time. I didn't take it as seriously. And I think the coach kind of saw that. And he actually, at first, I think he was frustrated with me. But then once we all kind of had fun as a team, I felt like that built up our unity as a team. And then when we would go to these playoffs, we would want to win for each other because it's, for those of you who don't know, tennis is collected on, like, if you win, you get points. And then depending on whoever's team gets the most points, wins the overall
30
school
love.
versus school.
30 love.
No. So, like, if I won, I would get a point for my team.
30 love.
And I
Deuce.
I definitely felt the pressure of wanting to win for my team.
Dude,
it wasn't so much for myself.
I played the crap out of Mario Tennis on
N64.
no, not on N64, on Game Boy
GameCube.
Color.
Oh yes,
That was the
was
best.
so
that was
good.
the best one, right? Yeah, it was the
yes.
best game.
Where you weren't the Mario character.
Yeah, you made your own character. Yeah. That
Oh
was
my
the
God,
best
yes.
one, and then finally at the end of it, you fight Mario and Luigi.
Yes.
And oh, dude,
I didn't know you played that.
that game ruled.
Sean, I love that game.
I learned so much about tennis through that game. Oh man, that game ruled. I played the crap out of that game.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Those
I
are by
didn't
the
know that
same,
about
those
you.
are by the same people that made Golden Sun.
What?
Yeah, oh yeah. And like that's why everybody wanted. So the game Golf Story. Remember the one game that I downloaded, the indie game? They tried to recreate it in the way that Mario. Yeah, they tried to recreate it in a way that Mario Tennis game was, and everything like that. And it kind of just I mean it's not. I mean it's golf. You know, like I like golf. I do, but it's not like tennis. Tennis is very like back and forth, like intense game. You know.
Yeah.
They definitely got the cheekiness of that game, but for the most part. It's not, playing that game. I remember like sitting in the back seat of the car and everything like that when my parents went to grocery stores or whatever, and I was just like, here I go, and it's played the crap out of that game. Anyway, that's my sports. I didn't play sports. That was really bad. My parents actually have a home video of me doing cartwheels in the back of in the outfield of T-ball. And if I just want to let you know, every time I'd go up to bat, the kids would yell "easy out." So that's an actual thing. They yelled it and no one stopped them, like they do now. But yeah, they would just yell "easy out." They also have a video of me of when a ball came to me. They put me in left field, or right field, I think it was. Yeah, they put me in right field, and no one was left-handed, so like everything just went all the way to left field all the time. So I was just right behind first base, just doing cartwheels. But there's one time that the ball did go to me, and I picked it up and I tossed it to another kid to throw it.
That was a thing.
So yeah, so that's my sports thing. I'm very bad at sports.
Somehow none of that surprises me.
No, yeah. Those are all true stories, too.
Fate says, no worries, I can deal with the dumb camera. By the way, thank you for the con advice from previous cons. My first con went really well. Hey, that's great to hear. Yeah, sometimes the first con can be discouraging, so it's great to hear that you actually had a good experience with the first one. Oftentimes, a first con can be like you don't make a lot of money back and you're discouraged. But glad to hear it went well for you. Jim says, that's a wicked looking cherub. What are the advantages of embracing the darker parts of yourself when making artwork? I think sometimes you can create more honest art. It's weird. I'd like to think that I tend to get driven more towards sadness. I think anger is the weakest emotion, so I try to stay away from falling into that category, even though I can catch myself getting angry every now and then. But I feel like it's reactionary. But I also think sadness can be equally weak because it's easy to relish in self-loathing and pity and, want to have a party of one for yourself. So I think both emotions can
Having
be...
a me party.
Sean's like, yeah, where are we going?
Having a me party.
So I think it's okay to explore those emotions. We're humans, and you can't avoid them.
Have you seen that movie?
What,
What,
Sean?
It's the Muppets movie.
Yes,
And then
I've seen
when
Muppets
she's in the
movie.
diner, I'm having a me party. A party for one.
So yeah.
Go on.
I think it's one of those things where in art, though, you explore these different aspects and facets of your life, and they're not always pretty. And I think sometimes what you create out of those insights and those reflections of yourself, maybe you see that there's a lot of things about yourself you don't like. And I think admitting that to yourself and then expressing it in your art is actually a beautiful thing. That's why I always talk to Sean about honesty is like my favorite thing about a person. And I can usually read someone pretty well on if I feel they're being honest with me or if they're trying to be schmoozy or if they're trying to get something out of me or if they're just trying to fill the air with conversation just so that they don't feel uncomfortable. And classic. And then you start to turn what I think feel with art though, you instead of judging other people all the time, all of a sudden the mirror or that reflection, becomes more of a mirror and you start reflecting it on yourself. I think that's where you either choose to ignore what you're seeing or you choose to accept it. And if you express it in your art, that's where I feel like I can really connect with people is when they not just accept the beautiful things of themselves, but they can start to accept the things that maybe aren't so beautiful.
What's wrong, you pandy?
In you pandy. Boom. Lion King 2. Thank you, Angela. Great recommendation. So yeah. And honestly, I think like this Dark Cherub, I've just never been a fan of Valentine's Day, so I try to poke fun at
I
it.
think Rafiki's a weird guy.
I love Rafiki.
I mean, he's cool, but like, I worry about him, like on his downtime, like what he does. I feel like he has this weird obsession with the lions.
Do you know what my favorite thing about Lion King though is my most memorable advice is when Rafiki...
You could be a big pig too.
That's Timon.
Yeah, I know, but still.
No, it's where Rafiki smacks the hell out of Simba's head with his
he
stick, and then he does it again and Simba ducks. Oh, what's the line that he says though? Hold on. Rafiki advice. For some reason that quote really stuck with me as a kid.
Obviously different voice actor.
Oh, okay. So he hits him and he says, ow, what was that for? And Rafiki's like, it doesn't matter. It's in the past. And then Simba says, yeah, but it still hurts. And then Rafiki says, ah, yes, the past can hurt, but the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it. And that's why when he swings it again, Simba ducks. I feel like that's a really powerful piece of advice that I think went over a lot of kids' heads. But to be honest, I didn't see it as a kid and like, oh, wow, that's so... But I saw it later in life and I was like, that's actually a really cool message.
I just saw dancing hyenas when I was a kid.
Like I said, we see different things.
I will say though, yeah, I love the Lion King, but I want to say Aladdin. I think Aladdin was my big one.
You are Aladdin.
Street rat, something. Punctual.
Word for word. Faith says, I mean, from previous streams. Oh, yes, of course. Steve says, work song. Yes, you just played that one.
Yes.
Yeah, then I'm behind them.
Yeah, I think you're a little far.
Faithful says, do you guys have any tips for feeling good at cons? What I mean by that is avoiding headaches, back pain, and exhaustion. Maybe it's just me through the struggles with that. No, we definitely feel it.
Yeah.
We've been trying to do yoga on a consistent basis. Not well, but we've been doing it, I would say, at least once a week for the most part. This past week's been weird, but for a while we were doing it like twice a week. That was impressive. And I think it's something where your body is not used to just standing upright in that position for such a long period of time. My arms start to hurt. I feel like I get some cramping that I wasn't used to when I was in my early 20s. But now that I'm, pushing my late 20s, it's something I need to take care of my body more than I was more conscious of when I was younger. So yeah, I would say do a lot of stretching, do some yoga, maybe figure out where you're hurting and then do stretches that can help with that. I feel like a lot of us, it's our lower back. It is in our arms, especially if you hold your arms in front of you at a con, you're constantly pulling the muscles in kind of the tricep area. So they're constantly being pulled if you keep them in front of you. So I try to go behind and keep them at my side as much as possible, but...
When we were standing, but didn't our shoulders hurt really bad?
Yep.
Because it was just a constant just weight of standing.
So if you're standing... So if you're going like this, you're pulling these muscles right here. And this is how I normally stand. So you want to be more like this, but this looks very awkward. So I'm usually doing this, but then I'll switch to this. The one thing I will say is don't pull down on your arms. So if you hold your hands in front of you,
thank you,
Walker Heart, for following. Don't pull your arms down. Just keep them kind of relaxed. That's something that I tried doing more at the last con, and it seemed to help. Leo says, hell, the tennis game thing you did, we had badminton at school and I had to play against a guy who was in the tennis club for years. He did the same with me, chased me all over my side of the field. The worst.
I feel like that's just kind of just like that's definitely a technique if you want to tire them out.
I was what's called a technical player. Tactical. I would hit the ball as furthest away from them as possible with each hit. I wouldn't try to have the strongest hit. I wouldn't try to have the most power or spin to any of the hits. I would just try to make them run as much as possible.
You were a tactician.
I was a tactician, essentially, yes. Which I loved. I loved being that. But I know it drove the other person crazy.
Spot for this. You really shouldn't put it here.
No, that's fine. If you can tell, I'm not the... Well, actually, I won't say it live on the stream, but me and physical possessions, I used to care a lot about them more when I was younger, and I'm learning more and more that they're just things.
They're just things.
Unison said, Tim... Wait, where am I? There we go. Tim, are you wearing nail polish? Yes, the roommates, we all put on nail polish on Saturday for... Well, we were watching Olympics, so I did red, white, and blue.
By the way, these Olympics guys...
They're so good.
They're great. Really wonderful.
I was a little worried with the first night. Key and I were watching these figure skaters, and they were doing horrible for the team event. But then, man, did they really pick it up on Sunday night. I'm really excited for the individual
When are
runs.
those today?
I don't know, actually. I tried to be more on top of this year's Olympic schedule, but of course I got distracted with other things. And we have a con this weekend, so it doesn't help. And next weekend, and the weekend after.
We do?
I do, yeah.
I got two... Is your love, I really need to know.
Brand says, I see all emotions as a conversation where you have to find what they are trying to tell you and gain insight to move forward. Yes. If there's something, though, I will say, my friend Victor showed me this book called The Power of Now. And part of the thing that is very prevalent, especially in the second half of the book, it talks about your thoughts are not you. And it's something that I always kind of believed, and I think a lot of us do. But if you feel a certain way, it doesn't mean it's real or that it's true. It might be a real emotion, but it doesn't mean it's a real situation happening. So usually it happens like if you're insecure about something, or if you want someone to like you and they don't text you back. You're thinking of all these things of like, oh, they don't like me, blah, blah, blah. They might just be visiting their mom. Like they could be doing something completely mundane, but your head is going crazy thinking of all the situations that could be happening, and you're taking those as validation of the truth. When really, sometimes our head just likes to be bullies with us, in my opinion.
Yes.
So yeah, I think it's good though to recognize the emotions that you have and try to feel where they're coming from, but don't let them have complete power over you. Try to see them objectively and pull back when you can. Angela's definitely a schmoozer. Angela thinks she's a schmoozer. Queen Cornetto says, for my 10-minute warm-up today, I doodled one of my OCs flirting with your character Tracy for Valentine's Day. Should I send it on? Yeah, can you send me that? That's great. I love that. Thank you. Fate says, yeah, my shoulders really hurt and my head from the wig. Yeah, cons hurt.
They definitely do. They can take it out of you, you know. But the more you start doing, and the more you tend to kind of get used to it, and you kind of know like what, kind of like what you're getting yourself into. So yeah, so definitely definitely push yourself, I guess, in a weird, physically, I guess, during cons, you know, to see how much you can stand and be attentive and all that stuff like that. But I mean, don't get to, you know, the point of like fight through the pain.
Yeah.
You know, and then, but of course, you know, don't push yourself to where you're just like, I am going to paralyze myself.
I think it's good to recognize that we are
like
a human body and we got to take care of this machine that we live with every day.
Also, too, like, if you ever notice, like, any weird downtime, just give yourself a sit for, like, 5 minutes and then just stand right back up.
Yeah.
Or you can sit
Or
until
stretch
until somebody comes to your booth, and then you can stand up and talk to them.
Oh, yeah. Something that I know we wanted to talk about with cons and everything involving it is... Well, no, I guess I kind of want to have the con conversation next week because I forgot today would be Valentine's Day. So I think we're going to save a lot of the con talk for next week.
Oh, yeah! This is my year anniversary of living here.
Oh,
It is. It's my 1 year
that's
anniversary
right. It
of
is your
living
1 year of
here.
living here.
I remember. I think you were
it's only
doing
been a year.
you were doing a stream, and I remember I just walked in. I just walked into the kitchen, and that was it.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, happy year.
It's been a very
It's been a
up
year.
and down year.
It's been a wonderful year.
It's been great. Red Panda says, how do you guys stay so positive? I love it.
We don't.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, you know, we don't want to.
How do we, Sean? How do we stay so positive?
We don't want to be on the stream being sad because we've all had our sad moments in life, of course. But when it comes to presenting yourself, you know, or any type of thing like that, of course, you want to stay as positive as you can. You look at it as more of just like a, I don't know. Nobody wants to hang out with a Debbie Downer. Yeah, right. Like, especially like, I mean, if you guys are like, you guys come to these streams and we kind of have it in our head like it's our job in a way, not our job in a way, but we would just like to encourage you and stay positive.
The way I like to see it is, I feel like I have well, I guess I'm talking for myself. I won't speak for Sean. I feel like I have a really good support group of friends that I can communicate an issue with if I feel it's on my mind and I can't seem to figure it out on my own. So when we come on the streams, I do feel light. I feel like I'm in a good mood and I'm in a positive mood because I genuinely feel like I love my life. And it's something that I keep reiterating to the roommates recently about how I don't want to take things for granted. I can recognize that things are really good in my life right now. I don't have a full-time job. I feel like I'm supporting myself independently, and that has been a dream of mine for a long time. And I don't want to just take that for granted. And 3 years ago, Tim, I mean, that was my dream. That's something I wanted to work towards. And especially living in a house full of artists that I love and respect, it's been one of those things where every morning, if I can remember, because I don't always remember, I try to just say thank you. Like to whatever other world being or universe or whatever it might be, I just want to remember to be taking the time to at least recognize where I'm at and take a look at where I've been and how I've gotten here And yeah, these streams are more of just like a fun, relaxing time for, I guess, me and Sean to talk with you guys.
Mm-hmm. Also a way of just getting like stuff out of our brains too.
Yeah. Well, and hopefully to help you guys with any art advice that you might have, with like questions about cons or being an independent artist, like how do you make money or any of that stuff.
Purple Rain.
Oh, can we?
That's too long of a song.
Yeah, I'm not a greatest fan of Purple Rain.
Purple Rain.
Altmage says Olympic videos are great for dynamic pose references. Yeah, especially figure skating ones.
Do you have a request? Or was this? I've had the time of my life.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
All right.
Steve says, in saying that, it's Valentine's Day. What physical possession are you most in love with?
Physical?
My Lego. My Lego water bottle.
What physical possession do I value the most? I feel like it would have to be my laptop.
Oh, Mr. Serious.
I'm like, what do I abuse the most? That's how I show my love. Oh, I know, Tim. My house. That is by far the most proud.
Oh, yeah.
And like the thing I actually do want to take care of, because most physical possessions I'm just whatever with. But I do really care about the house because I feel like it's lodging for memories. And I see this house as like more than just a place where I sleep and where I do my work. I see it as a place where I get to hang out with people that I really enjoy and I get to create memories with. So, my house. Yeah, I like this song.
It's a good one.
Fate says, I stood about 7 of the 10 hours or more, but I made more sales while standing. I think the worst thing for me is I get sick from anxiety. Yeah, standing seems to help us too, more than anything. Well, at least, I guess more on an individual level, you'll recognize what works better, but we've seen collectively that standing tends to work better for people.
It just, well, it's weird with the whole standing thing too, is that, because sometimes you'll have people with, they're a little bit more shy, they're a little bit more, apprehensive in a way to come up to your booth because you are standing, because it also might be intimidating and everything like that. But just remember just to be like welcoming in any way that you can, even when you're standing, just to say hi, definitely find out what works best for you.
And I guess like for some of our friends, they're these kind of like intimidating guys, and you gotta recognize the vibe you're giving off. If you kind of have a face that has a resting, like, angry face, there's a good chance that people may just assume you're angry and they won't want to come up to your booth.
This is a great movie, by the way, if anybody, like, Dirty Dancing is one of the best movies I've seen.
Cheeky. It's good. One of the best you've ever seen?
One of the best I've ever seen, because I love Crazy Sways. He's great.
What was the other thing I was going to mention with? Oh, the thing with standing is because if you're sitting, oftentimes you can only be interacting with the person right in front of your booth. But when you're standing, and if you have some room to play with, you can kind of move around and you can direct people. You can get eye contact with more than just one person. And I definitely noticed my sales increased when I started standing. And I definitely when I stopped drawing. When I was drawing behind my booth, that's when it was the worst for me. Because then you look just uninterested a lot of the times.
I was always taught at I would do tattoo conventions before doing the comic and anime conventions, and I was always taught to always stand, always be present with someone, because that's honestly what people kind of want,
Yeah, and I know we're going to talk about this more next week, but the idea of you're also selling an experience, not just a piece of paper. Mm-hmm. So if someone has a good experience with who you are and that interaction between you as a person is good, there's definitely a higher chance that they'll want to purchase something from you. But you also have to be aware that that doesn't mean you have to be fake or that you have to present something that's outside or beside yourself. Just give the best version of yourself. And honestly, the thing that's really helped me is just to respect people. It's been funny watching some artists that think they are like too hot to be at a convention and talking with 15-year-olds about art and whatever. Those artists drive me nuts. And there was one recently, I'm definitely not going to name names or anything. I'm just going to say it gave me a horrible taste in my mouth when I left. I secretly hoped that they wouldn't do as well because their attitude just sucked.
Whoa, Tim.
It did.
Oh my.
And no, it's like you
No, I know
came
what
to
you're
this
trying to say,
convention and people want to just have conversations with you about your art and you're not giving them time of the day or you're not even choosing to like look at them. I don't know. That drives me nuts. It's like
Because of their age? You think?
well, I'm sure that there's people that be like, oh, this kid's not going to give me any money, so I'm not going to pay attention to him. I want to let you guys know right now at OhioCon, he had to be 12 or 13. He dropped $70 at my booth. Do not judge how much money someone will have based on their age.
I mean, if the kid wants it, the kid wants it, you know?
I think it's silly to be age biased on what your customer base is.
Steve, what do I abuse the most? Oh man, Alt Mage saying, have a sign that says, I'm just as scared as you are. Just wear that.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Oh, that'd be perfect. That's awesome.
Juju, Steve says, fantastic. I feel like Von House will eventually be a museum to great artists. 2025. Yeah, it'll just be what's that called? Monolithium? Oh, I don't know what it's called. Oh, this is a good one. Yeah, this is a good one. Queen Cornetto says, went ahead and DM'd you the doodle on Instagram. Oh, I'm kind of excited.
I'm having trouble here. Is it good? Is it real good? Oh, yeah.
Tracy seems so faking interest. That sounds like her a lot. That's perfect.
Hold up. I looked up real quick. 333. Burrito code.
Cool.
It's really important.
Dude, go up real quick.
No, it's not.
You wouldn't understand.
People put importance on things that aren't important.
Tim.
Yeah.
Tim, I could really burn you right now, but I'm really nice today.
Aw, thank you, Key.
I love you.
Love you, Key. Key and I are the same person, so when we pretend to be fighting, we're not. It's a facade.
There's this one. It was a whole... There's a tattoo
Sean's like,
question.
wait, there's a question.
Wait,
for
there's
me
a question
specifically?
about me, please. Move out of here and I'll talk real quick.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they said, can you talk about your flow and composition? I'm a tattoo apprentice and it's one of my things I struggle with the most, especially flow. My work seems flat. Flow to me is the biggest thing to kind of think about is literally kind of imagine that there's always going to be like an S over your work and everything like that. And it's also to like remember shapes that actually flow with each other. So instead of throwing like, so one thing I've noticed too is that people tend to draw in triangles. So if you were to put a triangle over something, it would just fit good, triangle or squares. When imagine, so as a tattoo artist, everything starts to stretch out because every part of the body is kind of a cylinder. As a cylinder, or if you even want to flatten it out even more, it's a rectangle. So with that being the case,
Sean,
what?
we were presenting you with a gift.
Key and I have another little Valentine's Day gift for Sean.
This is just marshmallow mateys.
It's inside.
Oh, it's inside.
I mean, marshmallow mateys is a gift in itself.
Good Christ. Anyway, but so do I open it
Yeah,
now,
open
or
it
what
now.
do I do?
And then you can get back to you
Alright.
answering your question.
Yeah.
So this is from Key and I.
Get the fuck out of here. No, I'm not. I am not showing that on the stream. Get the fuck out of here.
They're gonna think it's really dirty or something.
Yeah.
No, get out of here.
Bye, Sean.
Sean!
So Key and I decided to do something for Sean.
Go get
He's been having an iffy last month, so
Good Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
you're welcome.
That is just more time wasting. I'm surprised that you just. Whatever. All right, guys, I'll show you what it is.
In the cereal.
Yeah, I'll show you what it is. So it's the cereal. So I open it up. Oh, it's all crumbly, which is great. Here it is. Everybody, you get a free prize. It's an actual video game. Jesus, this is Mario's Vacation, and I'm just gonna waste my time more and not post artwork on Instagram. So there you go.
Happy Valentine's Day, Sean.
Jesus Christ, that's not a Valentine's gift. That's just to go waste your time. Good Lord, thank you guys so much. Holy crap.
You are welcome.
Jesus. Anyway.
You are good like that.
I'm gonna have some.
we have one for Tyler.
We got one for Tyler.
Something to Tyler.
Is it also in the marshmallow mix?
I mean, we could put it in the marshmallow vase. Yeah, put it in the marshmallow
Yeah,
vase.
put it in the marshmallow mix. Alright. Good Christ, guys. There you go. Anyway, so holy crap, thank you guys. I appreciate that. Anyway.
You're welcome.
Anyway. So I feel like he really pushed for this present. In like I just want to watch Sean play this game.
I mean, that was that.
Yeah.
He was really nonchalant. I was like, I want to watch Sean play.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay.
I was just in a good mood. Key and I went on a friend date yesterday, and I don't know, I was just in a good mood. That's probably why I justified getting Sean a video game.
Sean, do you want to be the presenter? I'll go get Tyler.
No, well, I mean, if you want to get him, yeah. Here. What did you guys? Oh, good Lord. Anyway, okay. So, anyway, back to Flo. She works at Progressive. You know, but so with Flo is imagine shapes that go into each other. So you have shapes like you have S shapes. You have diamond shapes. Diamond shapes flow really well. You have upside down triangles actually flow well into other shapes. Try and break everything down into a simplistic shape and then put them together and see, kind of really put an S over it and see if they are actually working together rather than working against each other. It's probably the best thing I can tell you when it came to flow. I've always been so kind of obsessed with S shapes is the best way to do it. Tyler, you have a gift from Tim and Key.
No, this one's from Key.
Oh, this one is from Key.
Tim wouldn't dare give me.
Yeah.
No,
Tim
I know Tyler
wouldn't
doesn't
do
like
it.
gifts.
Yeah. You have a gift.
Marshmallow mateys.
It's marshmallow.
You better open it.
Yeah.
The,
You better open it.
open it. Oh boy. Oh, so
Yeah.
we played this at Gen Con.
Oh, you did?
I didn't get to
Oh,
play
nice.
it though.
It is a little card game that apparently Tyler played at Gen Con. It's
Yeah,
called
I think,
Sparkle Kitty.
We demoed it at Gen Con. I forget who
My
it was.
lord.
I think it was.
No, I didn't get to play.
Oh, you just there.
But I didn't actually watch you guys play either.
Well, that's how I can help you with flow.
I think it was
Oh,
the day
also
that
too,
I-
another thing, especially as a tattoo artist, so there's a guy who made a book. His name's Guy Atchison. And he was he's still a very influential tattoo artist, but he was one of the first pioneers to kind of turn tattooing into what it is now, into understanding it as, or at least modern tattooing, of like understanding like
We're not getting
flow,
anything.
of like flow and movement and everything like that. And he has a huge like chapter about like S shapes and how that works. Also, another artist to look at is Jeff Gogwe. Jeff Gogwe looks at the
Why do I
body
know that
as
name?
he does more than just tattooing. You probably know another one, which is Sean. I gotta remember it. Sean Price. Yeah,
Really
but,
good.
yeah.
Really good artist.
But yeah, Jeff Gogway is another one to understand flow. Really, if you could just like challenge yourself to literally draw an S shape and then draw something that flows with it. So have like a piece of tracing paper or anything like that, and put an S over it, or you could put an 8 over it and everything, and just kind of just focus on fitting shapes within that. And there you go. That's definitely how I learn flow. Just studying from other people and really forcing myself to make sure that there is flow.
It's definitely a composition thing. Mm-hmm. And the more that I get aware and I can see my art, I realize how horrible my compositions are. And that's something that I need to work on. And Sean's right. You just need to like look at other artists that seem to have really good compositions, do some study on it. And it doesn't mean that you have to just take it word for word and like that's the way you have to do art from now on. But I think it's good to understand why a composition works, why it doesn't, and then apply it to your art if you feel like it would improve
Ooh.
it. What is that? Oh, yes! I like this one. I need it. To be honest, this makes me think of Shrek 2. Actually, can we play the Shrek 2 version, please?
What?
What?
I didn't know there was a...
Oh, yeah. This is in Shrek 2. Faith says, I hated having to eat behind my booth, but I didn't want to leave. Yes, you have to eat.
It's really funny.
Pui does bananas where I'll eat them really quick
Yeah.
when no one's around. And she also says, I mentioned to an artist that I had seen her on the internet, and she said, yeah, I'm everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. Well, it could have been a joke. Who knows? You gotta take that one in context. Mausoleum. Thank you, Mitten. Yes, that's where I store dead people. I'm just gonna collect all the artists that live with me, and then we're gonna die here together like a cult.
Perfect.
Fem says, I feel the love there. She feels the love from us. Too cool for
Too cool for cons.
Angela, you are too cool for guns. Queen Cornetto says, Tim, which is your most painful tattoo to get? I do not have any tattoos.
Sorry, Sean, not Tim.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say.
My most painful tattoo?
Oh, I know. Wait, I'm gonna take a guess. Godzilla.
Yeah.
Chess piece.
Yeah, I have a big thing that goes over my sternum, and I kind of got a door knocker right here. So I'm like a little guy, and feeling that, it's just kind of like, oh my god. That was terrible. And then also, too, there's a part that actually, like, goes over my nipple completely, and it's, like, completely, like, blacked out, and that was not a good feeling at all. Besides that, I'd say my foot.
Oh.
My foot was terrible. I was just like, this is, nope. I was like, I'm done. Here I go. Whoa, hey! Thanks, man. The Walker art, it said Gogway is awesome. Thanks so much, you. And Teresa Sharp. Teresa Sharp is amazing as well, and you can see her flow stuff because she literally, it's just one big just flow fest in there, which is great. Also, do another guy is David Koenig. You could look at him. He all he draws is S shapes, and he really tries to like do like S lines within that. So yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Check them out. I'm done eating. Thank you.
Yeah, get to drawing.
Yeah.
Wex one line says, what time is it there? Just curious. It is 7 p.m. here. It is 15 minutes to 4 p.m. Central Time here. Jay Strahl says, what are your guys' thoughts and views on comic book artwork like Marvel and DC? I have mad respect for comic book artists. I think living with Gabe for 2 years, or was almost 2 years, full years. And then, I mean, now we have Jonas, another comic book artist. But Marvel and DC comic book artists, from what I hear, their deadlines are also super tight. Yeah. But usually it's not just one person doing all from start to finish. Usually there's someone that does the lines, someone that does the color, someone that does a bunch of things. So it's like a collective effort. But I guess in terms of the actual look of it, I wouldn't say I'm not too keen on the actual style of comic book stuff. And I think it's obvious my stuff, I feel like is a reflection. Or no, I will not say actually my own work is a reflection of my own taste, because a lot of the artists that I really love and appreciate right now are just super weird, original, creative artists, and they're not even just all in the traditional medium of like drawing or painting. And some of it goes into like fashion and drag queens and all these things that I find are super bizarre and interesting and unique, and those are the artists that really inspire me. But in terms of comic book art, yeah, I'm not the craziest fan of it just because I like things that have more of a shape to it, a clean look. And I feel like a lot of comic book art is telling a story that's a very like, and then this happened, and then this happened, and this happened. I really like illustrations that have a story within a story, or they're interpretive.
What's going on there, Sean?
Yeah, to go to something else.
I can go to Dexter.
Yes, this is a good one.
This isn't a love.
It's not a love song. Well, for yourself. This is for those that are single today.
No, I feel
I'm there with you, and Herc, young Herc.
I'm supposed to be someplace else. Someplace better. I can go the distance.
Fate says, how do you deal with stress from posting quality art on Instagram? I post every week, and now it's getting stressful because pretty art is expected.
Ah, man. Relatable.
And it's something Key and I talk a lot about, and I think we've come to the conclusion that you should post whatever you want when you want, and regardless of the reaction you're going to get.
I mean, I don't think you can ever fight the trends that are going on,
Yeah.
especially to like people preferring pretty art over kind of original-ish
I
artwork.
have
Yeah.
been stressing over that. 'Cause
Right.
I feel like people want pretty art, and I feel like I've kind of like built my audience on like pretty things.
Yeah.
But drawing just pretty things doesn't make me happy because I feel like I'm not doing anything. Everything.
You're not advancing the art collective. It's one of those things where I think it's easy for me to say that, but I don't feel like I act upon it all the time, where I do feel that I don't share everything I do, and I try to post things that are selective based on the presentation of quality that I've built for myself, or that I think I built for myself, but it's not actually there. So yeah, there's definitely a pressure. I think you can either succumb to it, or you can recognize it and be like, I know it's there, but if I want to post this, I'm going to post it. And I don't care if I'm going to lose followers, or whether or not this will gain attraction, or if this will steer my followers in a new direction. Because, oh yeah, this one's even better.
Yeah, this is a good
But I think there comes a time where you have to recognize, are you doing it for yourself, or are you doing it to cater to other people? And you want to stay on the side of catering to yourself. That doesn't mean you can't play the game. I think actually we all talk about this a lot, is playing the Instagram game. And I'm using kind of Instagram as like a social media hub, but just because it's the most popular and prevalent in today's time. So it's very easy to get caught up into trends and to follow those. And to be honest, I think when you're starting off as an artist, I think it's okay to follow those things. Like when Mermaid comes around, do a bunch of mermaids. When we do Drawtober, do some of the Drawtober days. I think it's an easy way to get exposure, and it might not be something that you're like expressing yourself in the most emotionally depicting manner, but I feel like it's a good challenge, and I feel like challenges are inspiring to other people, and seeing the different interpretations of like a similar subject matter can be cool. So I think playing the game can be a great thing, as long as it's not the only focus of your art career. Oh no. Guyweb says, my essay is almost done. Should have been finished yesterday. I'm trying to use a schedule to sort my work out, but it's difficult. You can do it. You can. Turtle! How about...
Hello.
Oh, here's another song request after this one.
What do we got? Oh, Jim Croce, Time in a Bottle, yeah.
Fate says, it's super hard to gain a following as a starting traditional artist. At least that's what I'm thinking. But maybe it's my quality in content.
There's a lot of like self-assessment, I think, when it comes to social media and like building a following and everything like that. It's so I don't know how to explain it. It's such like it's like a weird.
You gotta be patient.
Yeah, patient is the best way.
Patient pays off. It's one of those things where sometimes my Instagram can be misleading because it looks like I got popular in 2 years, but it's only because I carried over an audience that I started trying to build back when I was in college doing DeviantArt and Facebook. Like those were my first platforms that I built myself on. And Facebook, I got pretty, I mean, at the time it was a decent following. It was like 10,000. And for me, that was like insane. I would never thought I would hit that kind of number, considering for like 5 years, it was at like 1,000. I couldn't somehow break that 1,000 mark, and it took me a while just to get to there. And it was like 3 years, just to get to 1,000. And then from that point forward, it started snowballing, but it was still slow. And the one thing that I see that really works for us is pushing through and not focusing too much on the following count, recognizing it's there, but
Yeah.
posting consistently and trying to push the quality that you're capable of
I
doing.
feel like for some reason, like I don't know if it was still so like prevalent even when like Instagram first came out. Because I mean, you were around when like Instagram first came out, and I don't know if like the following thing has always been so prevalent with it.
No.
Either that, or it's, I feel like now it's like people have so much pressure now.
Yeah.
Especially like starting artists that are getting into it, they almost go into it and they just look at that number as it's just like just laughing at them.
Or it's like
it's
that's
like-
how much they're worth.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, well, I'm 500. I have a 500 person following, and the person in my art class has 1,500.
yeah,
So they're a
it's like,
better
this
artist than
person
I
must
am.
be better.
You know what?
What
Usually,
happened?
you
Yeah.
know what numbers usually say to me is that they've just been doing something right in the game of social media that maybe you haven't, or they've just been doing it longer. I don't think you should see the number as something that should get you down or discouraged. If anything, just recognize that social media is just essentially a game. And if you try to take it less seriously, I feel like it becomes less of a daunting
Yeah.
thing for
People
yourself.
measure their success on like their follower count. It's like,
Or even
come
worse,
on.
their worth.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's just like, come on now. Like it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, like it's okay. That number will grow in time.
I guess coming from personal experience, I would say I've definitely worried about my numbers.
I've had Instagram since 2012.
Have you really?
Yeah. I've been Instagram since 2012, and like it's been a slow burn. It's still a slow burn, you know. Like there's times where it like shoots up once in a while, but I mean, my Instagram hasn't grown as fast as yours has compared to things in like 2 years. But it's also too like I don't post as frequent. I don't do this as much and everything like that.
I guess we could be a good example of that. I would say I post probably like 7 times more than Sean does, so it makes sense that the following grew
Yeah.
at a similar pace. But if Sean was like posting every day, or I feel like it's a little more difficult for your stuff because it isn't as quick. I feel like I could punch out this Cupid by tonight and I'll post it, but I feel like you'll still be working on this. You could do an in progress shot.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, is kind of recognizing what kind of an artist you are. If you find yourself to be a slower artist, and I mean, I don't consider myself to be a quick artist, but I don't consider myself to be a slow artist either. I think Sean will consider himself a slow artist. So recognizing
I've
that.
seen, I've been working in the spot for 20 minutes or whatever, almost an hour.
So Sean can recognize then, okay, if it takes me about 2 weeks to a month to finish a piece, I don't want to just post one thing every month. I want to post maybe a couple in progress, maybe like a time-lapse video, and then I can post the final in the end. That way you have 4 pieces of content that you can post rather than 1. So it's kind of recognizing how can I lengthen the amount of posts I can get from one piece if you find yourself to be a slower artist, or not even just slower, but your pieces just have a more technical requirement than other artists. Let's see here.
Thank you, Valley.
Oh, thank you. You saw my stuff on DeviantArt first. Wow, yeah, that was way back in the day. Oh, yes. This is a good one. Mighton says, self-worth plays into it, but I look at it as how long will it take before I can support myself with my art. Knowing that social media is a really crucial part of that, and connecting with your audience, being able to make sales when you post a story about a new Etsy item or when you're convention. So it's disheartening feeling like it will take me 5-10 years to build that following and be able to actually support myself with it. I try to use this live stream as a way to kind of give more factual information or kind of give truth bombs. It will take you probably that amount of time. And I don't see that as a bad thing. In my mind, I started my 5 to 10 year journey when I was about 19 or 20. And I feel like it's now starting to pay off, but I'm 28 now. So it did kind of take almost 10 years for me to really push myself on the technical side early on, and then kind of learn more of the business side later on. So I tried to make myself a better artist, and I still try to do that on a technical aspect, because you can do all the marketing, you can play the best social media game you can, but if your craft isn't where it necessarily needs to be to gain a following or for someone to want a print of yours, you're never going to get that, you know?
You need to,
So you got to put in the time and effort to actually developing the quality side of the technical side of art.
and
And
you also
you
have
can't
to be able
rush
to
it.
admit to yourself that you need to do that as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
I know there's people out there who are just like, why isn't this happening? Why isn't this working? I've been posting and doing this as much. How come nobody's doing it? And it could be a quality aspect to where you kind of have to admit to just like, maybe I'm not the strongest artist and I need to work in this aspect of it.
It's so true. And I feel like I talk with a lot of younger artists on my Instagram DM back and forth. And I get this question a lot. And I try to give a very honest answer back and have them look at, if you really look at when I started, it wasn't 3 years ago. I think is when I started my Instagram 3 years ago. It wasn't 3 years ago. It was more like 10 years ago. It just, the first 7 were on DeviantArt, Facebook, Tumblr. And you can't hold it against yourself. And you can't rush these things either, like expect results quickly. I feel like unfortunately that's the time, or that's the day and age we live in, where everyone wants instant results or satisfaction or gratification. And especially with the next generation, like when my cousins come over, they're 10 years younger than I am. They are constantly looking for like that immediate rush of that fix, I call it. And I feel like art is such a slow and marathon type game.
Yeah.
It's not a sprint. And you have to prepare for the long run, not the short game. Fate says, okay, thanks, guys. That makes me feel better. I broke the 1K mark. Hey, good job.
Congrats.
But it's not as satisfying as I thought. What is that noise key?
I don't know.
But I guess I knew that would happen. Oh, okay. Here's something you should know about goals that you set for yourself that you think are meaningful. I thought hitting 50K would be life-changing. Or I thought being in Imagine FX or Spectrum or these things that I had for myself, they happen, and then you go on with your life. There isn't a big celebration.
the
There
end.
isn't fireworks going off in the background. I don't want to make it sound depressing or melancholy, but you should recognize that have small victories, celebrate them within yourself. Don't expect other people to celebrate for you,
Yeah.
and then make a new goal. And I remember that really hurt me, thinking that would be my entire life, and I would just keep going from goal to goal, and then I would die, and like that would be my art career. But then I started to think of it as like a really cool and awesome thing. Like if I'm able to set goals for myself and actually achieve them, and then I can make a bigger goal for myself, and I can keep climbing that mountain of art success, how great is that? Oh. And that's something I'm going to continue to do, so I hope you guys can do that as well. Were you waiting for me to put my head on your shoulder? Because I usually do that.
There it is. Oh, I'm screwed.
I'm literally falling on you, Sean. But the way I see it is, congrats on hitting 1K. And you should feel a small victory. Take a moment, go celebrate, go to Subway, whatever you have to do. Take a moment for yourself. I don't think you should dwell on it, but have that moment, reflect on it, feel that joy of hitting your goal, and then make a new one. And just keep on doing that. Oh, this cherub is definitely chubby cheeked. I'm gonna finish him later.
Look at him. Look how smooth he is. Look at that haircut.
Yeah, right?
Ugh.
Gosh, what a schmooze.
Look at that pompadour.
And he thinks this new haircut will just trick people? No.
What, this? No. That's
I thought we were talking about the smoosh.
no, look at his haircut.
Oh, you're talking about him?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the epitome of cool.
Dirtle Turtle says, do you think that art is viable as a hobby? Yes. I currently struggle to find any real time to draw, and I just get frustrated if I get time because I can't get any technical progress. If it's a hobby, I don't feel like you should be so focused or worried about how technically strong it is.
Yeah, if it's a hobby, it should be a
Fun, relaxing.
yeah, fun and relaxing.
wind
I mean,
down.
of course, if you're gonna take it seriously, like it should also be a fun to it. But
That's true.
Yeah, I mean,
Take it seriously,
No, don't
it's
take it. When you take it seriously, you lose all it.
lose it.
But no. If a hobby, it all depends on how much you want to put into it. So I guess I can't really tell you what it should be or what it should look like or what it shouldn't look like. As a hobby, just don't. I would say maybe just to kind of don't put so much pressure on yourself and have fun.
Yeah. Because I feel like things that I do for a hobby would be like playing the piano. But I know it's going to be a rougher journey when I just go to the piano maybe once a month and want to learn a song. Yeah, it's not going to be as easy as it would be for like drawing, which I do every day. I can kind of hop into it and it's like a bike.
Same thing. That's like with the guitar thing. Remember when I sat out here? Remember when I tried to learn like this little song and I learned like one part of it and I was like, all right, cool, I'm done. You know, and it's just like I'm not gonna.
Yeah, so it's like more about hobby. So for Sean, playing the guitar is relaxing. It's a way for him to just escape having to do what maybe seen as like a job to him at that time, which is drawing, and just relax. Faith says, thanks guys, big hug. Big hug.
No problem. You got this.
Laisha says, I have 200 followers and I find myself always looking at that number and always reconsidering my art or if I'm good enough for my age, even though I've been on Instagram for 5 months.
You've been on Instagram for 5 months. Let's just reiterate that.
Thank you, Optimum Boo and my peaches for following.
Also, too, remember this. Michelangelo wasn't Michelangelo overnight.
Yeah, it took like 3 days.
It took like 3 days for Michelangelo to get 500 followers. So, but no, I mean, everybody starts somewhere. That's how it is. We all started at 0 when it comes to Instagram.
Yeah.
You know, and we can compare all day. We can sit there and be like, oh, like, well, how come, you know, my path takes longer than this person's path or this person's path? But then when you get sucked into those comparisons, it starts to bring you down. You start to question what you're doing and everything like that. When really, like, you know, to step back, focus on what's going to better yourself from who you were yesterday, and then just go from there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Optimum Boo.
Optimum Boo. Mm-hmm. I was going to add to that. I forgot what I was going to say, though.
Time comparing is lost time.
Oh, yes. Sorry. That was it. That was it. It's the time you spend comparing yourself to others or figuring out why you're not gaining Instagram followers could be spent on watching a tutorial on anatomy or actually practicing your art. So try not to absorb all your time with things like, how can I get followers on Instagram? Oh, good one. Very good one.
It's so good.
Leo says, I feel like I can't actually enjoy it as a hobby if I don't get those pictures out of my head that I see in there and I want to make. Like, it doesn't make sense to even do it when there is no result I can be happy with. Ooh. I feel like this is a struggle that a lot of artists have in general. One of the best videos I've seen recently talking about art and making art with the ideas in your head is it'll never look as good as it does in your head. Ever. And you need to realize that sooner than later. It'll never look as good as it is in your head.
That's one thing that I read, too, is that so a student asks a master, how come my stuff doesn't look like how it's supposed to? And the master responded with, what makes you think it ever will?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, honestly.
No, your head should always be ahead of your hand.
No, isn't it
When
your hand should be ahead of your
No.
head?
No, the images in your head should always be ahead of your hand because then that's how you know you're constantly going to progress.
Oh, I got you. Here you go. Fail faster. Yep.
Fail faster.
Oh, geez. It's over 4. Oh, my gosh. Okay, we'll take a couple more questions. I'm definitely going to have to finish this tonight. I knew that this would be more of a talking stream anyways. So I'll finish my little Cupid and post them later. Because I feel like the other thing is, kind of like what Sean was saying before, I want to be like turning my paper in certain angles, and I feel like with the stream, can't, or I have the camera in my way, or I have
It's
to be
fun. I
looking
feel
at a
like my
certain angle.
nose would be way closer to the paper.
Yeah, normally when I'm drawing,
Yeah.
it's like this. So to stay far back, I mean, it's helpful in some regards, but I'll finish it later. Probably after playing a little Dissidia, if I was honest with you.
Mm.
Okay, let's take...
I got a Skype date.
Okay, what time do you have that?
9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jim says, so hobby versus professional. My significant other, let's just say, isn't the most enthusiastic of my art lifestyle. How do I not let them hold me back mentally? It's like I'm going to quit my day job and accept the starving artist profile outright. I still like having nice things.
This is a personal conversation. I believe
That I'm willing to have.
Okay. Yeah. All right. If you want to go for it.
All right. Well, in my mind, relationships destroy people. No, seriously. I think good relationships are where they support one another, and it's an equal partnership. So what your significant other is probably trying to say, and maybe not wording it the best, is that I'm worried for us as a couple, and the path that you're taking seems very risky, and I'm not sure of how we're going to survive together. I think there needs to be some proof on how you can make a financial return on what you're doing. I think just jumping ship and just going for it, yeah, it's romantic and it's very movie-esque, but if you don't really have a plan to back it up, I feel like that's where you might, drive your significant other kind of like, what are you doing? So I would say try to make a plan, try to explain to them in the best way you can. Like even with my parents, I had to really sit them down and explain how I can make money doing art. And then once I started making money, they like calmed quite a lot. And a lot of it is just, they're just worried. I feel like people are just worriers in general. And especially if you're a significant other, I mean, you're sharing a lot of things, including probably an income, and you pay for the utilities together most likely and whatever it might be. So my advice would be to explain it, but also do your research and try to come up with a plan that you can show them and follow through with that plan.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to say it. If they can see progress. If there's a way that you can show progress, go for it. That's my 2 cents. I'm done.
And maybe don't quit your job outright right away. I think the only reason I'm comfortable where I'm at right now is because working at CG Cookie, I would work on my personal stuff at night.
I mean, you gotta think like I feel like with us and everything like that, I don't know. There's a lot of planning before we jumped into just going solely independent and everything like that.
Yeah.
In a way, I mean, yeah, of course we tell people just like, like this is how you make it work, which it is, but there's also a lot of planning before you make that jump. And there's also a lot of like willingness to be like uncertain with what's going to happen.
Yeah. So, I guess the second part was, how do I not let them hold me back mentally?
I think that's the part I think uses the conversation. That should be.
How do I not let them hold me back mentally? Okay, so my advice on that would be to explain to them, first and foremost, that if you really want to get better at art and you want to make it a full-time job, you're going to have to dedicate a lot of time to that craft and building it up and doing what you have to do. So there's going to be a lot of time shifting, maybe that was previously given to them and now is going to be put onto art. And that's maybe where another concern is. Maybe they're just scared of not being able to talk with you as much or hang out with you as much. Try to find a way where you can both be present. Like if she or he really likes like watching movies or playing video games, draw on the couch next to them. And you'll make it something where you can do something together. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be like having a conversation back and forth. Maybe you do.
A doodle date.
Yeah, do a doodle date. I was telling Sean that's what you should be doing all the time. Because if I get in a relationship, I need that other person to realize I'm going to be drawing a lot and probably while they're talking. So I'm not going to give that up for them. And I think having an kind of upfrontness about it is, I think being very honest, even if it might hurt the other person, is the best way to go about it. Because then there's no surprises or there's no like, oh, I'm glad you're going for your dream, but now you're kind of giving up on us. But if you tell them right away, hey, I'm not ignoring you, but I'm just really dedicating my time to this to make this work so I can support us together. So, and to not hold you back mentally.
I'm way off frame. I was down here.
No, well, I don't know. There's only one other thing I want to say about that though is, and I think that's something that at least I talk with the roommates about in the house. I feel like relationships can oftentimes just be a huge distraction, and it doesn't mean it's a bad thing because my view on success has changed a little bit, and that success for different people means different things. For me, before, a successful art career was like really dedicating yourself to the craft, and that's like your main goal. But after talking with a lot of artists, especially older artists, I'm realizing that being happy and having a family and having kids or a happy wife, whatever it might be, they seem that that's their new level of success that they want to hit. And yeah, if they're not challenging themselves in the art world as much, they don't care. It's no longer their top priority like it used to be in their early 20s. And they weren't as hungry for it as they used to. So I guess prioritize what makes you happy. If doing art is something that you really feel makes you happy, make it a priority, but let the other person know. And that would be my advice with that.
And scene.
No, last question. Red Panda says, I really want to thank you for all the streams. They've been so helpful throughout the years, even helped me to choose my profession and continue doing art. So thanks. You are welcome. I'm glad these help, and it's not just me dropping truth bombs and
Truth bombs.
just like you're not going to gain Instagram followers in 6 months that you might want to
Oh.
receive. And I think sometimes we need to hear that so that, one, we can de-stress a little bit. I feel like there's way too much pressure on younger artists or artists that aren't as,
Skilled.
I was going to say endorsed on Instagram, but yeah, skilled.
Endorsed, yeah.
Skilled's another way of saying it. You don't get in with the algorithm, as they say. And to not let it bother you. Don't let that pressure get to you. So yeah, okay. Oh, I gotta pick the Instagram.
You gotta do the giveaway.
Ugh, I knew I was gonna forget. Okay, so here's my little carrot night. I'm gonna do this, and then we're gonna go to Subway. All right, let me see how many comments I got on this image. So essentially what this is you just had to post a comment on the drawing of this carrot night on Instagram. And I'm going to pick it right now. So yeah, there he is, a little 60K giveaway. I'm going to be doing my 65K probably next week. Because I want to catch up. I know I'm behind. Okay, so we had 500 in total. Wow, that was a clean number. Okay, let's see, random number generator. Okay. I guess to show you that, I'll turn this off. Let's see, how can I do this?
What are you doing?
Can you Discord me the ducky?
There we go. Okay, so there's the. Did you see how like? Right,
Oh, look
made
at
that work, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so we got 500. Okay, we're gonna generate this live.
Kapow!
Oh, I didn't want a high number.
394.
I actually individually count these.
Well,
I'm gonna do that tonight. I'm gonna do that after a Subway.
that's
So
the
congratulations, whoever is 394. I will let you guys know who
Congratulations,
won on
394.
Instagram. I'll do a big post about it, and I will send out the original next Monday.
Can you move the stream back? Or the Twitch stream back? Just in case people aren't talking.
Oh yeah,
There we go. No, we're good.
we're good. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. Wait, right there. What was the number? 394. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna forget. 394.
394.
Okay, thank you so much again for joining us on this Valentine's Day stream. I will
Thank you.
post this little chibi cherub demon later. He's like 40% done, so I really gotta push it when we get back.
Can I say one thing?
Absolutely.
All right, so Valentine's Day has been commercialized in a way that it celebrates couples and it celebrates all these things because I know that I got sucked into it and I posted my cheesy stuff on the internet earlier. But I do want to say self-love is just as important. So if you guys can,
Take
think of,
yourself out on a date.
yeah, think of something that you like about yourself or that you love about yourself and just be happy and proud of it.
Also, friend love.
And
Yeah,
friend love too.
is just as good.
All love is important, honestly.
Yeah, and if you're one of those single people like me out there, I'm going to be posting something real truthful later on my Instagram with this cherub post, so you can read that and make yourself feel a little better later. So that's what I got to say. And, congratulations to all the couples out there. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Honestly, I don't want to just rip on couples.
Yeah,
I
don't
think
be a wet blanket.
I'm not going to be a wet blanket, but being the single person on Valentine's Day and being it for 28 years, you see a lot and you feel bummed out every time this day of the year comes along. So I'm going to be there for you guys that don't have a Valentine today. And I want to be your Valentine. But I want to talk about why being single doesn't have to be such a bad thing. And hopefully I can make you guys maybe reconsider that.
That's what I was trying to say with the self-love.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to post about. Yeah. So, yeah. And that's all I got, unless you have anything else you want to say.
No, that's it.
Okay. Well, thank you guys again for coming. We're going to be doing this again next week. Next week will actually be the con talk. I think we'll be a little more serious with giving more advice on what it takes to get into cons, what to prep for, and I guess our general advice from doing it for, I guess this is my 5th year. This is Sean's 2nd year.
2nd year.
And we can share what experiences we've had.
Sophomore now.
Yeah, you're a sophomore, and I'm going to college.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're going to plan on next week. And my Patreon launches tomorrow. So if you guys want some insight on my process, on my illustrated novel Swordplay, it's technically open right now, but I'm going to do an official launch tomorrow. So thank you guys for checking it out, and hopefully we'll see you next week. All right.
That's
Take
it.
care, everyone. Bye.
Happy
Bye, bye,
Valentine's
bye,
Day.
bye, 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 bye.